So this is my very first gingerbread house. So to start this project, I started with a photograph of my home and I just kind of drew on it of what my vision was, what I want it to look like. And what I decided to use to make my icing pieces was foam insulation board. And this is 3/4 inch thick board. And these will actually make the scalloped icing pieces for my roof line. And I just cut it down into 1 foot wide by 8 foot long pieces. And I did all of this work on my living room floor with a utility knife. It went pretty quickly. Not only did I cut the boards in my living room, but I also scalloped them using the utility knife. And they came out really nice. I did about 20 of these boards total, and it took me a couple of days to do it all. Next was cutting my angles. That was kind of difficult. And of course, trimming my tree line, because it's no good to do all this work if you can't see it from the street. So I had to raise my canopy up. I did that in November. The candy pieces for the icing is literally just styrofoam plates. I flipped them over, spray painted them, and then glittered them, and the effect is really super duper cute. And as you can see, this is gonna look great. Now, the gingerbread men and the candy canes are made of corrugated plastic, and I painted them myself in the backyard and then glittered so they catch the light. The peppermints were styrofoam, as was the window pieces, 1/2 inch styrofoam, 1/2 inch thick. The installation process, I used these little plastic clips that you can just buy at your local hardware store, Walmart, whatever, box store, and I customized them. This end right here by my thumb, I just kind of cut that off with pruning shears to make it, a little bit smaller. And then I'd cut these little slits in the back of the styrofoam, and I inserted the clips right into those slits. But before I would insert the clip in, I filled it with all-purpose glue and then let it cure for 24 hours so I had a good tight fit on there. I wanted to test out my pieces on the roof. So I have this little test piece here. The wind was blowing about 20 miles per hour this day. And I decided to just go ahead and get up there and let's just see if this whole thing works out or not. As you can see, the clips just kind of slide underneath the shingles, and then the top part just kind of grips the top part of the shingles. And to my surprise, this worked really well at holding these very lightweight foam pieces into place. Now, there are some holes punched into the foam that kind of lets air flow through it so it doesn't rip it right off. More candy pieces, painted them in my backyard. I probably put 3 to 4 hours a day into my gingerbread house. There were pieces literally from my front door to my back door. It was stacked up everywhere. In fact, there were so many pieces that the dog couldn't even walk around on the floor, poor thing. Finally, we're at installation. I did have to hire some people to help me install on the upper roof lines, and this whole process took approximately 4 hours to complete. These guys did an amazing job at getting the work done. It was really super cold out that day too. I kind of felt bad for them. As you can see, I've only got one window left here, and of course the candy pieces I wanted to put on, and those were applied with just the double-sided 3M sticky tapes. I was pretty pleased with how everything came out, so much so that I served free hot cocoa and peppermints to anybody who came by to look at my gingerbread house. This was a really fun project. I can't wait to do it again next year, and until then, have a very Merry Christmas.